I never lied where I came from. Texas had its place for me to find a home deep in my soul. I must know the world as a whole.
Hi, I'm Carole Coburn, and this is Creative's Cornerstone. This week, I am so incredibly excited to introduce you to who I believe is Austin's very own, Ashten Falter. Hi, Ashten.
Hi.
I may have lied just now. Are you from Austin?
No, actually, I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, fun. Okay, how long have you been in Austin?
4 years. We moved right after COVID.
Okay, y'all, we have so much to learn about Ashten, and I am so sorry I didn't even know that fact, because you have embedded yourself rather rapidly in the Austin culture and the Austin community and in this incredible creative space. I truly thought you were from here.
I lived in New Jersey for college, and then I went to New York for 5 years, and then moved here with my husband.
How wonderful to have that kind of diverse, the layers, right? It just builds you and brings you, and you take it with you. Oh my goodness. So how do you introduce yourself to people, just so our viewers know exactly who it is Ashten Falter is?
I know someone asked me yesterday, I was like, so do you teach music? I was like, yeah. I was like, yes, and like an improv thing. So I introduced myself as a freelance theater and film artist and educator.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is. It is. I do a lot.
You do a lot. And somehow or another, and I'm sure it was on social media, you came across my radar. And it was a music video, a behind the scenes, and you were filming on a tennis court with a band. And I thought, oh my gosh. Number one, it had to be so hot out there on this surface. Number two, it was very sunny. And it really brought home to me the production aspect and the director aspect of this incredible business. And I knew at that moment that I wanted to talk to you about the passion that drives you in this industry and how you step up to it. I mean, how you are doing this. What brought you into this realm?
Okay, so I think I've always loved film, but I never imagined that me, Ashten, could do it. There was this belief that I wasn't smart enough or didn't have enough career, whatever, to be
savvy.
To be able to do it. And I've been doing musical theater since I was 4. Literally, my first show was Music Man when I was 4 years old.
Wow, okay.
Yes. So I've lived and breathed theater my whole life, and for my whole life it's always been what you can do physically, singing, acting, dancing, and how you look. And so when I went to New York, I got a BFA in musical theater for college. When I moved to New York, I tried to do everything I could, right? And I struggled so hard, like so many other people. I was working 5 jobs, just paying, going paycheck to paycheck, and I just burnt out. And not until I got married was that right before COVID did I start I was able to take classes, I was able to start networking, I was in a dance show, I was in a little tour.
This was still in New York?
This is still New York.
So you invested a lot of energy and sweat and time in so many things just to be able to get to that point.
Yes, and then COVID hit. And it was my career was just coming for I was so close, and it was just and no one was dancing. So many of my friends had to leave the city because all the jobs that they did.
And it hit so badly. We all saw the news and the videos and
it was horrible.
Stories.
It was horrible. I did not leave my apartment for a whole entire month right when it hit because we did not know. We did not know what was going on. It was so scary.
We call that the dark ages here, the dark times.
Yeah, and we couldn't go outside without being afraid, you know?
Right.
And so...
Yeah, in New York. Everywhere else in the country, we were going outside and going on walks and
Yeah.
and breathing air and getting, you know.
Yep.
And in New York, there was just New York
couldn't.
City. There was just no way. Yeah.
So I had dislocated my shoulder in my freshman year of college in a show, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. So I'd never gotten it fixed because I didn't realize I needed to. I just kind of got through it, you know?
Right.
And then it was like, well, no one's dancing. Let me just get it fixed. So it was like July or August, I get my shoulder fixed. It wasn't torn or anything, it just stabilized it. And then 6 months later, I was going crazy. And so I was like, okay, I really want to try something new. There's this place open called New York Martial Arts. I really want to try martial arts. I love martial arts. Like, dream is to do a martial arts movie. Oh my gosh, we'll get to that later. Because it's like dance. Oh.
Yeah, no, seriously, the fluid movements and yeah.
I love it so
can
much.
see it.
So 4 classes in, I tear my ACL. So 6 months before that, shoulder surgery. 6 months later, first ACL surgery.
I think the universe was speaking to you about your physicality and what you were doing with it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was so bad. And so then I had to go another major surgery. We were now in a 2-story walk-up. The laundry was up 4 floors. It was tiny little rectangular apartment. We moved over there so we could go to the park, right? So I'm just miserable. I'm so depressed. I'm just like, I can't, the way that I dealt with my like anxiety and depression was physicality through dance,
Right.
through running,
When
through,
creators can't create.
you know? And so that was when I realized like, okay, I need a new medium. And so I tried so many different things. I tried crafting, you know, I did wreaths, I did all these different things. I started painting. So my sister already lived here with her husband, and I already knew someone I grew up dancing with in Knoxville. She was here. She was with Sea Legs Dance. And then I had another friend from high school who lived here, and then someone I worked with at Ballet Academy East in New York. She moved here and works at Ballet Austin. So I was like, okay, I already know a bunch of people. This seems like a really good space for arts and to have like some sort of nature, both
Yeah.
having the downtown city, but also
Sure.
that was really important to me. Because literally we went on vacation when we were in New York, and when we had to come back in, I almost started crying because I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't go back. So I was like, it's time. But
Wow.
with that being said, it was like having to allow the death of a dream that I've had since I was 4.
It's when the phoenix rises, right? I mean, you're going through a transition there, and I don't care how old you are. I have to say, as an older person, it does get harder the older you get. But yeah, I mean, it's not always easy.
Yeah, and my whole entire worth was so wrapped up in how I performed, how people saw me as a performer. Are you working now? You know, what show are you in? Oh, well, I've just been nannying for the past 5 years, and I've barely been making it, so I haven't been able to audition. So, like, my worth was just completely just rock bottom. And so I was like, yeah, something needs to change. You know, I was like, this isn't good for anyone, especially for me in my
Right,
marriage. You
right.
know, it's like, I think it's time that we move. And I really was interested in film. And I was like so desperate to get away and prove myself that I went to England to go to this acting on camera thing at Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. It was like a 3-day thing. I was the only American there. Because you don't
Yeah,
go
but
to-
how wonderful for you to be able to be in the position to be able to just go to
Go.
England for
Should I have?
3 days.
Probably not financially, but I did. And I thought it was funny that I actually enjoyed directing more necessarily than I did acting in front of the screen, because I was so self-conscious
Yes.
when I was in front of the screen, whereas behind it, I was like, ooh, wait, oh,
You're
we should
freed
try
up
this.
to be expressive.
Yes, so I got out of my way, I got out of my head, and one of my teachers was like, I think you should look into directing. And I was like, really? Because I'd never like given myself the opportunity to even think
Right.
that I could be more than something that
or
I
even
define
when
myself as.
when you were exploring your crafting and your, all those other little things, you weren't looking at a different way to express that. I mean, because that's a huge leap from in front of the camera to behind the camera. But you seem to be a risk taker. I mean, as full of self-doubt as you were, you made a trip. And just for the viewers that may not quite realize, because we have a lot of tried and true Texans here who have not left, the difference in culture, in environment, like on every level, it's so different in the different quadrants of our country. It's just so different. So when you moved here, when you landed here, that had to be quite an experience on its own, because you're letting go of who you were there and you're starting new in this amazing place.
Yes, and I gave myself room to play. I gave myself a chance to try.
Good for you.
And I taught at the local YMCA swimming, because I had my knee surgery in my shoulder, so that was one of the few things I could teach, because I couldn't teach dance at that time.
Plus, it's got to be really good rehab.
So I learned how to teach swimming, because I swam competitively growing up. And then that was so random, And then I created my own one-woman show, and I just put together my story with different songs, like popular songs, musical theater songs. And I remember that moment after it was done, I was like, so what's next? I was like, is this it? And I realized for me, art is about community. And me doing my one-woman show did not fulfill me because it was all about me. And I was like,
it's what you give.
Yeah.
Not just what you get.
I think it was important for me to do that because I got to, one, prove to myself that I could sing for 2 hours and act. Was it perfect? Oh my gosh, no. Did I crack a lot? Yes. But I did it, right? I did it, and I proved to myself. And then I also gave myself permission to be like, this isn't what I want anymore. And that's something that I love about film so much, and theater, when you're working with a group, is it requires an entire community to do it. Like, you need a sound person, you need a lighting person, you need a director, you need a cinematographer, you need someone working with, the talent,
I understand that, and I have to let everybody know this is a great opportunity. When I pay reference to my crew, oh my God, without Richard and Jeremiah and David, this wouldn't exist.
Not at all.
I mean, I would still find a way to be expressing myself. It'd be on the radio still or some other way. But this show is all about this community and the people that we feature. So, welcome aboard. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
So my whole first year was me networking. And I grinded. I was like, okay, I started I started taking class at Ashten School of Film, which my husband actually found Ashten School of Film online before he moved.
I recently found them last year, and I was so amazed. The resources and the things that are available in this town are crazy.
And I wanted to do Ashten School of Film instead of going back to a college, because you could take classes as you go. You didn't have to take out a loan. They did pay plans, and it was perfect for me. And like every single person I met in class, I was like, hey, do you want to do this with me? Hey, do you want to do this with me? So my entire network was literally just Ashten School of Film, and then they brought me to other people. My short film that I did, I produced for the first time and acted in, that was every single person on that set was from Ashten School of Film. Did we know what we were doing? No, but did we do it? Yes.
You showed up and you experienced and you grew from it.
We learned so much. Oh my gosh, we learned so much. And I think because of that, it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try. And that's like literally just been my entire career, is like, okay, don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to try. I was an assistant choreographer at Brentwood Christian. My friend asked me to help her choreograph. Their choir director quit so unexpectedly. And so he was the music director for the show. They asked me to music direct. I was like, sure, why not? I've never music directed before. And then they're like, hey, do you know how to choir direct? I was like, sure, why not? So I was just like, okay. And so
Balls
then
to the
I
wall.
just,
Yeah, here you go.
I figured it out, you know, and I'm so glad I did, because that kind of started me on my trajectory of being an educator in the arts.
Right.
And now I have a choir that I do at my church. I've been doing for the past 2 years. I now am the director of education at Kids Acting Studio.
So you've really stepped into the education factor on this, which I have to tell you, and we were speaking before the show, that you caught my attention by what you were doing with your directing.
Yes, yes.
And I saw some of your music videos, and most recently, and I'm gonna bring her up, and I just saw her video, remind Molly Frazier, and it was Antidote. It was a dance to Antidote, and it was about healing, and of course her choreography was beautiful. The orchestration of that video and the capturing of that movement, I have so many questions. How many cameras did that take? Okay, so
It was me. I did it. I was the cinematographer and the director, and I did everything for that shoot.
y'all, we will put up the link to this video. Maybe, I don't know, if it's on YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
I'll have
Please let
to
it be on
ask.
YouTube.
I'll ask her to put it on YouTube.
Maybe we won't be putting it up, but Google Molly
It's
Frazier.
on Instagram, so you could do that too.
So yeah, just because of copyrights, because the song isn't by Molly Frazier, that we may run interference.
Yeah.
And did you not have a link to that on your website though, to that video? How did I find Molly's video?
It was on my Instagram for sure.
Yeah, no, that wasn't it, because
But
I
maybe it
found it
was.
this morning.
Maybe it
so
was.
I'm going to covertly direct you to Ashten's website. What is your website? Where it has all about you and the different videos and stuff that you've done.
My first name, last name.com. So AshtenFalter.com.
And Ashten is spelled with a T-E-N, not a T-O-N. So it's A-S-H-T-E-N. And you said it's Ashten
Falter, Falter.
.com. And then that way, because I don't want to get in trouble with copyright, I really don't. So I can't put that on here. But you could certainly follow the links to experience that video. So that was done with one camera.
Yeah, I just gotten it actually. So talk about taking risks.
What kind of okay, so we're going to go deep here, folks. Sorry. What kind of camera did you use for that?
FX30 Sony.
Wow.
So I literally had gotten it the Thursday before the shoot. So I spent...
Just been trained on that, but what you can do with that, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I spent like 2 hours just on YouTube being like, okay, how do I work this camera? And then I was like, okay, here we go. And then I just figured it out. Like we did one wide, I did two sides, feet, and then everything else I was using a tracking.
How many times did she have to perform that dance for you to capture that?
I bet she did it about 15 times.
Okay, that's starting to help me piece together how you edited that to capture all of that fluid beauty. So it was with one camera,
Yes.
but it was multiple takes and
Oh,
obviously
yes.
a lot of editing. How long did it take you to edit that?
I bet 4 hours.
Y'all, I hope you don't mind that I'm asking those specifics, but you know, this show, what I hope this show does for you, and I think I've mentioned it 100 times, is that I really hope that people will be inspired by the guests that we have here on the show, and they can then realize and recognize that today's the day. It's not one day, it's today, and you need to step into your passion and show up for it and experience it and see what you can do with it and the levels, the layers, where you can take it, the joy that it gives. Oh my gosh, our Sundays in this space with the guys on the crew, it sustains me, you know? I mean, the joy that I get from meeting such amazing people. And I hope that people will be inspired by Ashten here, and you're hearing, I mean, just everyday things. It's a struggle, and and a juggle. But when you identify something and then you show up for it, that leads you to the next step and where you want to go with it or without it in life. So I'm so happy to hear you and your story. And I just had to ask about Molly's video, because the beauty in that, the fluidity. Okay, and then I need to ask you about, tell me which one this was, because I'm confused. It was an instrumental. It was a music, and it was wild. That took me on a ride, and I love things that keep me guessing. It's very hard to entertain me with movies and with shows, because I try to figure it out in the first 5 minutes, and if I'm successful, I am so saddened by it, because I want to be in suspense, or I don't want to know how it's going to end. And this short video that you did was a mini movie, and it made me wonder. I thought one thing throughout the whole thing, and then in the last moments you rose again. I thought for sure we were watching your planning your death and your all of these things. Not yet. And then it wasn't time, and not yet, man. You wrote. So if that was the message you were trying to give in that video, spot on. And you did it in such a creative, beautiful way. Did you write that?
So I had this just like vision image in my head for 3 years, 2 years.
And we're talking about a music video called Not Yet, and we're going to be sharing that with you. That we can do.
And it's to Claire de Lune, WC's Claire de Lune. And I just had this image, all the imagery that I had was with water. It just made me think of water.
Yeah, the way you did that.
And I love all the personalities of water. Like, think of Moana. You know, like you've got the very fierce water, you've got the smooth, you know,
the glass,
the terrifying. So I wanted to play with all those different aspects of the danger of water as well.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful.
As well as the healing. So water is something that is just so like spiritual for me. Like, it is so healing for me. And one of the reasons why I wanted to dance in it is because it was one of the only ways I could dance in it was if I was
in the
underwater.
Water. How long were you underwater at a time? And how did you film that? Who was running the camera?
Okay. So we used a DJI Osmo action camera. And so,
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a cinema camera, just a DJI Osmo action camera. And my cinematographer, Jorge Arzak, he was in a swimsuit, right? He just went under and just filmed while I just twisted and turned and moved a million ways.
It was beautiful, but truly.
I drank so much water. I drank so much water.
Okay, well, you didn't capture that part of it, but folks, you have to see the video. It's Not Yet, and we're going to show it to you. So don't sweat that one. And look at the lines and the beauty and you're so stoic as you sit there and you listen, and you can almost see, and I don't want to be leading you down any lines, but to me, when I watch that, and of course, it's open to expression, interpretation, but to me, it looked like you were sitting there and you were planning. You were planning. I mean, you were kind of lost in the music, but you were sitting there very stoic, like you were, I don't know, like, was it a last pleasure? Was it a motivation? Were you getting on a ride and it was taking you somewhere? Where was it taking you? And then you're in the water. And then it truly, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because you need to see the video, honestly. But that was such a powerful, short story.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. And
wow.
it comes from my story, and the story did have to change. It was going to be more narrative, but things happen, right? And so we just used the footage that we had, and Jorge, the cinematographer, edited it, and he created magic. He created absolute magic with how he edited it. And
that was just gorgeous. The colors and the motion, just the dance under the water. I mean, that was spectacular.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so proud of it. And that's the other thing is like community, like it took a village for that to happen. You know, also the AFS public studio, I used it through the producers program, like that helped me get the materials I needed and the gear. Whew.
Again, folks, I don't think I could underscore this enough, and I'm not positive that this isn't available. Obviously, this specific studio, this specific Ashten Film Society, but there's got to be resources similar to that in other areas that are funded by grants and donation, but the resources that this space allows and the creativity that comes out of this space is phenomenal. I'm just going to drop a name here real quick. Austin Farrell, who ran cameras a couple of shows for us, and we've seen him around in the creative community, is now starting a show here through Austin Public. Sketch comedy. Oh my gosh, stay tuned. But how incredible this space allows people to be. And then the Austin School, I mean,
They've
really.
been so supportive. Oh my gosh, Faiza, she's been so supportive. And after I finished the certificate, she asked me if I wanted to teach the summer camps last year.
Wow, that's
and I
big.
was like, whoa, are you sure?
Sure, yeah.
And so, yeah, I taught the digital filmmaking and the music video. And I learned so much just through that experience. And then she asked me to teach digital filmmaking for adults in the fall, and then music video production in the spring session, or I guess now it's spring, winter session.
Right.
And then I'm teaching my second music video production class right now.
Wow. And see, I find that so awesome because you have taken your creativity and your love for creating, and you're taking it to another level now by educating and teaching a whole new set of folks to be able to bring this kind of entertainment and joy and passion to the front. You know, it reminds me too, I have a friend who just had a high school student graduate, and she was very involved in the theater program at school. And now she's choosing a different path for her life, and more power to her. I've invited her even to come in here and play. But all the folks out there who had this as a passion in high school, you know, when you lived for the theater and the plays and the band concerts and all of those things, you don't have to give it up when you graduated, you know. It's such a wonderful way to bring joy and pleasure and passion into your life, and meet some new folks and network and rekindle that flame, that spark. And you are such an example of this. Now tell me, how long have you been in this realm, in this world?
In the film world?
Yes.
3 years?
So just 3 years. So it's just been 3 years.
Yeah. I think so.
So just since you've been here to Austin,
Yeah.
that you've submerged yourself into that side of things. Wow. And then what did you do? You said you were in, was it Knoxville?
I'm from Knoxville, yeah.
Knoxville. Okay, so you're from Knoxville. You went to school there, early education?
I went to Rider
Oh, okay.
University in
All
New
right, that's
Jersey
where- okay.
for a BFA in musical theater.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So talking about the pickleball shoot,
Yeah, can we talk about the pickleball shoot?
Yes.
What was that about? Were you the only photographer on that one too?
I wasn't at all.
Okay,
I
so
was the teacher for
okay,
that.
because I remember some behind the scenes clips of people moving around and getting different angles with the cameras.
So I was doing the behind the scenes, which I love doing. I love getting lots of fun shots.
Right.
But it was actually two of my students. So let me back up. My very first session of music video production, I asked my friends James Hearn and Francis McGrath,
I saw his video. Yeah.
yes, both of which I've done music videos for, if they wanted their band, KTO ATX, to be the guest artist for my music video class.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that
fun.
was really cool, right?
That's fun.
So we got to work with them, and they got a music video for free. You know, like
Nice.
it's a great setup. So
Yeah.
I gave my class 4 different songs that they could choose from, and we ended up just doing 2, which I learned in the long run it's probably better to do less than more.
Well, especially when you're learning.
Yes. And so we ended up just doing 2, and one of them, the Mr. Blue Sky, which they do a cover of, was the pickleball.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is
Yes.
like so great, because I told them, I was like, okay, they're quirky. KTOATX is funny, silly. They wanted the audience to know, like, hire us, we're fun, we'll bring joy, you know.
It was hilarious, and it's like, what a concept that was.
Right. And that's the one thing that I absolutely love about teaching is I would have never thought of that, ever.
So where did that idea, the pickleball, come from?
It came from my students, Anne Marie and David.
So the students,
Yes.
those students wrote that.
Yeah.
That vision.
And they used a Super 8 as well as
Oh, wow.
a digital. So they were filming both at the
Wow.
same time, one with Super 8 and one with a digital. So they mixed.
Wow.
And it was great. We barely needed any, like we didn't need lights or sound. We just had a Bluetooth speaker, and they just used neutral density filters to help with the sunlight because it was
Right.
so bright.
Yeah,
And
it
it worked
was.
great. It worked great. So it was more just them having fun running and gunning, right? Just like shooting, having fun, just getting their basic shots and then just playing, which is my favorite part about music videos is like once you get your coverage, then you just go and you have
You just
fun.
have a good time.
You just figure out what kind of shots would be silly or fun or quirky and
What
yeah.
a great way to teach them, though. I mean, and to open that up that way for that experience, real life experience in the class. Wow.
Yeah. Right now we're working with Brandon Kinder, he was the head of Rocket Boys. I don't know if you know who they are, but
It sounds familiar, but for some reason, no.
they have a ton of songs on different TVs
Okay.
and stuff, but his solo album is The Wealthy West. And so we're doing a song for him, and we have a shoot this Wednesday and a shoot next Monday. And my students came up with the different treatments, and then he chose. So we're going to be putting one person's film, like, or just footage that they're going to shoot over, like, on a projector, and then we're having dancers dance to the song with that video being projected over it.
What a great vision. And now your students came up with this concept and then gave it to them to say, hey, what do you want to do?
I had every single one of them come up with one because I wanted them to practice doing a treatment, which is like a pitch deck, and then having to write out the treatment in script form, and having to learn how to pitch to an artist.
The fun that you are living and the fun that you're creating and the fun that you're sharing. I just love this. I love everything about you. I am so thrilled that you responded positively to coming on the show and sharing with everybody, you know, what it means to show up, to stand up, to say, hey, why not?
I think if I had anything I wanted to say to people is like, I remember thinking like, well, I just have to do one thing, right? And I just have to set my mind to it. And that's like the biggest lie. That is the biggest lie.
The self-talk. I mean, because I
Yes.
heard as you were speaking and sharing your story and all of the grind in New York and while you're doing all of this, that self-talk that soundtrack in the back of your mind, it kind of kept you in place. Wow. Well, good for you for turning that off, or at least for saying, you know what, not today.
I think my body did. Is literally like, you got no choice. And it's like, there's so much, I'm so grateful. It still hurts and it's still very painful that I had to go through that. But I now can like honor it.
Well, hold on though. Life's lessons, they aren't all joyful. You know, so you just have to take what you can from the experience and then move forward with it and what you learned in it. And I promise you, I guarantee you, life is full of those lessons. And if you don't learn them, you're not going to get out of the lesson. You're never going to get it. You're going to just keep facing it on some other block.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you move. Now, you move to a place with high creativity, with open arms that say, please come join us. We're all in this together and we all support each other. And that's what the subculture is here in Austin. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
But seriously, that is a huge leap to be able to step away from where you are and then step into this. And then, especially, I moved from, I've lived several places, but before I lived in Texas, I moved from the Chicago area, suburbia, where I spent quite a bit of time growing up and went through school there, high school. And when it came time to make a change in my life, and your life propels you. I mean, it pushes you. And sometimes you don't even understand why. You don't understand the why. You just know the must. And when I was being propelled forward or into a transition, I didn't know what I was going to do. I literally fell to Texas, never having been here before. And I wanted a good life for my daughter. I wanted her to grow up in a small town community and environment. But I got to tell you, when you're from the burbs, that small town community, when you go from going to Chicago on the weekends on the train to doing all the things to moving into somebody's home in, for those of you that know, Canyon Lake, where the source of entertainment was a crane machine at the Super S down on the corner. They didn't even have the McDonald's built yet. I mean, we all went through some serious withdrawal and culture rearranging to be able to finally embrace this space. But it's a growth. It's a growth. But so worth it.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Thank you so much. Is there any final words that you would like to share with our viewers before we hit them with the videos that we've talked about? And then, of course, we have got our Wavemaker segment coming up. Yay! So, final words for our viewers?
I think what I love so much about art, and especially like bringing people together as a theater artist, as a film artist, is like bringing a community together and empowering, whether it's students or people around you, and just giving work or just hope that there's something other than just the political climate that you can focus on is really, really helpful.
Having something to be able, instead of being distracted by distractors, be distracted by your passion and your joy and your creativity. Dive into that. We're not saying bury your head in the sand by any means. We're all living this life and we're all experiencing it in different ways. But it's so important to have a place of joy and a source that feeds your soul some positivity and lifts you. I personally recently discovered electric bikes. Gotta say, I had to quit biking. Yeah, I know. I can almost see Jeremiah's eyes rolling in the control room. I gave up biking like 15 years ago because of health. I didn't have the endurance and the ability, the heart pump function to be able to do it anymore. And through conversations recently with some health care providers, it's like, okay, I need to find a way to divert my stress and let it, because my body doesn't take it anymore. And oh my gosh, technology, hello. We are not endorsed or sponsored in any way by any particular company, but I started with a little mini bike that looks like a dirt bike, only it's an electric bike. I call him Travis. And then I fell off of Travis. I was leaving my garage with my really cool helmet on, and we live on a very busy intersection in our neighborhood. And in my head, I'm singing Bad to the Bone as I'm pulling my bike out. this little old 64-year-old feeble lady, and I'm like bad to the bone. And I have to tip the bike to get on it because it's not a walkthrough. It looks like a dirt bike. And I tip it over and I raise my leg and we fell over.
Oh no.
Yeah, I crawled over to my car and pulled myself up, went inside the house, and I cried to my roommate, I fell off my bike. So embarrassed. I was positive at that moment. Everybody was looking out their windows. Anyway, short story. All right, not actually, I'm making it much longer than it needs to be, and I'm sorry. But I then decided to go with the trike. So now I have an electric trike, and her name's Sophia, and that's what we're going to be doing as soon as we leave the studio today. Jeremiah is going to be riding Travis, and I'm going to be riding Sophia, and we're going for it. So find a distraction for yourself. Step away from the news. Step away from the gunk. I'm not saying don't get involved in your own ways and do what you need to do to fight back or to, because one side or the other is fighting. So whatever you choose to be doing, but make some time for you. Step back, step into your creative being, or just go get a bike, go get on a bike and ride, but step away and bring joy into your life. So thank you so much for personifying that, Ashten, and for joining us today on Creative's Cornerstone.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. You've been a blessing. Thank you. Y'all, we will see you next time. Stick around because we are going to be running these videos and we are going to be sharing our Wavemaker segment with you in about 2 seconds. So stay with us and we'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, Ashten. Hi. This is a segment we call In the Makeup Room here on Creative's Cornerstone. And I ask the really hard-hitting, deep questions in this space. Are you ready? Okay. So, is there an activity, if you could turn it into an Olympic sport, that you would win a gold?
Yes. I don't know if you know the game Fishbowl. It's so much fun. The first round, you have to do like taboo, where you have to say the word but without saying the word, basically get people to guess.
Okay.
Second round is where you have to do one word, and then the third one is where you act it out. And I would absolutely win gold on that.
That is so awesome. Well, we are going to find out all there is to find out about you in just a minute here on the set at Creative's Cornerstone. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Lurleen Ladd, founder of Wavemakers Women in Music. I'm here with Wendy Colonna, and we are so proud to have Alison Tucker on Creative Cornerstone's Wavemaker segment.
Hi, Lurleen. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Wendy. Hey, Lurleen.
It's a good day to be in Austin. I just want to say one thing about Alison. She's one of our 5 for 5 grant winners in 2025. And I just have one question for you. Tell us a little bit about your whole story related to second chances. I follow you a lot, and this is one of your big, the cornerstones of your art.
This
so tell
is
us
the
about
cornerstone of my story. It's a second chance. I started really young playing music in Austin, Texas. I was 19 years old, and life comes at you fast. And I got a corporate job. I spent 20 years in corporate America. I met the love of my life. I raised 2 children. I was a stay-at-home mom, and ding dong, divorce papers came one day, and I got a second chance. I didn't, of course I was stunned, but the universe gave me a second chance to be who I had always wanted to be. And I promised to be the best that I could at that. So I got a second chance, and I started to play again and perform and record. I released my very first debut album the 8th of June recently. I was granted a $5,000 grant from Wavemakers that made the last leg of that release possible. I believe in second chances. I believe in magic. And I believe that it's never too late to find that dream.
And we believe in you, Alison.
Thank you.
Take it away, sister.
This is called The Kindness of Strangers, because like the grant that I received from Wavemakers, they were strangers to me. And it was just one of the many, many examples of the kindness of strangers that I've experienced on my second chance.
I saw your back go stiff as you noticed my difference. I felt the air go cold around me. The fear inside me grew. What were you gonna do? Would you walk away or surprise me with kindness? I need to believe in the kindness of strangers. Somewhere above the anger and danger, is there a place for you and me, with plenty of air to breathe in the kindness of strangers? From your castle of whiteness, you stared at me with sinful blindness and asked me if I knew Jesus. The fear inside me grew. What were you gonna do? I need to believe in kindness. I need to believe, 'cause you could condemn or deport me, slander me with shame, harm or hurt me in your Father's holy name. I need to believe in the kindness of strangers, somewhere above the anger and danger. Is there a place for you and me, with plenty of air to breathe in the kindness? In the kindness, in the kindness of strangers.
We hope your new realtor plays drums in a band. We hope your new dentist is its front man. We hope live music always makes you proud. Just don't call the cops if you think it's too loud. South by South by South by Southwest. We hope you'll like it so much you'll